Family, what up? We're back. Thanks for being here, y'all. Make sure y'all take advantage of every day you have here. And take advantage of the people you have around you in the right ways, because time isn't guaranteed. Just 2 days ago, we were laughing, talking, and joking, and having a ball with some of the little homies. And last night, 2 of them are no longer present. So, love y'all people, y'all. Check on y'all people, do all that stuff. Anyway, I'm down right now. I ain't gonna lie. But we still got work to do, so we're here. Let me know where you're tapping in from, and we're about to talk about these receipts that Nicki presented, allegedly, on The Rock. But this video says that it's been a few more artists that have fell victim, so let's check it out.
And there's a lot of rappers behind the scene that want to talk about it, and they're scared. But sweetheart, I'm not scared. I'm legendary in these streets. You know how many artists I've spoken to behind the scenes that are too afraid to speak up?
So you'll speak. We'll speak, y'all.
I'm gonna speak because y'all can't touch me. I am completely protected. I am protected by God. Y'all don't see that by now?
Rapper Nicki Minaj was the apparent target of a swatting call last night. At around 7 p.m., the LA County Sheriff's Department received a call claiming an assault with a deadly weapon had occurred at the Grammy winner's Hidden Hills residence.
All right. Remember when Jay-Z said this?
I think we passed kneeling.
Let me play again. This time, look at the reaction of the lady sitting just behind him.
You gotta be working with him. As far as I'm concerned, Rock Nation is fine by couple. You know what I'm saying? Why would people think the government don't run businesses? You don't think by right now that they ain't got a major rapper that's a snitch, that's a...
You guys, Nicki Minaj just dropped actual receipts accusing Rock Nation of running a setup operation targeting rappers, and she's naming names. Jay-Z and convicted criminal turned government informant Desiree Perez. But Nicki isn't just speculating. She's linking Rock Nation to Tory Lanez's sentence, 6ix9ine's snitch label, Casanova's RICO charges, and several other cases. And what ties all of them together is speaking out against Desiree Perez. But just when it couldn't get crazier, Desiree's own daughter came out backing Nicki, and she claims her mother had her locked in a mental institution for no reason.
All right, let's be real, y'all. Everything in this video is alleged. It's for comedy purposes, commentary purposes, and research purposes, educational purposes, and all the good purposes. But well, if you know, you know. But Desiree had a hand in taking down a bunch of people. And for the rapping camel to be such a self-proclaimed street dude, how do you do business with someone of that nature? There's a dude named D Haven, and he got to talking about one of the rapping camel's friends. It's like, yo, what's going on? This ain't right. And dude, the rapping camel told him, you'd rather be over here than on the other side. What you gonna do? That's crazy work.
Prevent me from making wrong.
The incident started on March 27th of last year.
So legally, I can't go home.
No.
Why?
Deores Hadley says she was lured to that parking lot by someone posing as a potential client for the landscaping company she runs with her then boyfriend, now husband.
She said her mom didn't just play dirty. She went full-blown cartel with it. When she told Desiree she wasn't leaving her husband, that's when things got real grimy.
So if Desiree would do that to her own flesh and blood, what's she capable of doing to Nicki? Especially now that Nicki's leaking evidence that Rock Nation is working with the government. And if you think this sounds like a reach, go look up Desiree's daughter exposing her, and you'll notice that no major mainstream outlet reported on it. But that's exactly why Nicki's speaking out and showing hard proof that Rock Nation is working with the feds. And if that's true, then every rapper speaking out is a target, including her.
Most artists have no clue what is happening. Y'all don't know what the we go through. At the workplace, you know how many women, I said this on Twitter, get strategically blackballed out of their positions when they're a little too strong, when they're a little too smart, and get told that they're angry black women and they're having a breakdown?
Alright, so here's what Nicki actually dropped. She shared a screenshot claiming that Roc Nation and Desiree Perez have been working with federal authorities to monitor artists and using their legal troubles to control them.
Nicki. Her voice is so powerful. The message behind it is even more powerful. I tell you guys all along that some people say these people will use you against you. Things you've done, things like that, and they'll sit on it. The moment you step out of line, they might whip you back in the line. That's what some people say. I don't know if it's true or not. But another funny thing is major networks did not cover that Desiree and her daughter thing. And that's interesting. That's the stronghold that these people have on the media. They are the media. For real, for real. So at the end of the day, you got to be mindful. You got to move smart.
You're going to be in handcuffs, so dog's not going to be able to come?
I don't want to be in handcuffs.
Okay.
Deores says they took her to a hospital for a mental health evaluation after this doctor signed paperwork saying she was a risk to herself.
What he told me was, we received a call from your family that you tried to OD the night before.
A doctor she says she'd never met before. And according to Deores, it's her own mother who's behind it. In this lawsuit, she claims her mother, Desiree Perez, used unlawful means to have Deores falsely detained under Florida's Baker Act and Marchman Act.
So she's the CEO of Roc Nation, a company that she owns along with Sean Carter, the famous rapper Jay-Z.
Now wait till you hear the disgusting reason Desiree had her own daughter institutionalized. According to Deores' complaint, Desiree used her money, power, and influence to tear apart Deores and her husband, Javon Hadley. Deores claims Desiree threatened to Baker Act her if she didn't divorce Javon, referring to Florida's infamous involuntary psychiatric hold law, officially known as the Florida Mental Health Act of 1971. Now, how does this all tie to Nicki Minaj? Well, Nicki has been trying to warn people about Desiree Perez and Jay-Z for so long, but no one listened.
Now, for the daughter to say, you guys should be scared because look at what's happening to me and I'm the daughter, imagine what she might do to people she don't love or people that mess up her money and business. That's crazy work. It just perplexes me how her and the rapping Camel got into cahoots. Like, I need answers on that. What made him so comfortable to be like, hey, yeah, I want to work with you? But if it were somebody in his community, I don't think it would be the same. And that's what makes me mad about these dudes, from Lil Baby to this dude. If it were somebody that looked like us, y'all, this wouldn't be a thing. How can everybody turn their backs on Gunna and this and that, but then you got this person and nobody says nothing? That's crazy work.
Accused, be careful. No one who conspired on the wrong side will go unpunished for the role they played in this movie. I hope it was all worth it.
Come on, y'all. You're going as far as to make false claims on somebody. All it takes is one mistake for somebody to get hurt in a situation like that. And it's just out of confusion. It could be the other party that's coming to respond, or it could be Nicki and her family. Not knowing what's going on, questioning this and that, make the wrong move and boom. It's crazy work. What stood out though was 3 a.m. you guys, during the witching hours. You gotta make it make sense. But this has me worried about Nicki. It really does. But it could be her insurance also, because if anything happens, we know what Nicki was on to. We saw the receipts, we heard the receipts, we read the receipts, and we've seen other things done to others. So you really got to put it in perspective, y'all.
He used to describe an act of making a false report in order to get a response from police that could involve an armed SWAT team.
But then, just a few weeks after that, Nicki was targeted again after someone called in a fake report saying Nicki had been shot. Cops showed up again, but once again, they found no evidence of any crime. According to the LA Times, the LA County Sheriff's Department got a call about an incident in Hidden Hills, and the caller claimed a friend shot a black woman. However, it was later revealed that the 911 call was a swatting incident, and a neighbor confirmed to the LA Times that law enforcement responded to Nicki's residence.
Rapper Nicki Minaj was the apparent target of a swatting call last night at around 7 p.m. The LA County Sheriff's Department received a call claiming an assault with a deadly weapon had occurred at the Grammy winner's Hidden Hills residence. The caller claimed somebody had shot a black female adult, and two suspects wearing all black were still on the property. But when deputies arrived at Minaj's residence, there was no evidence of any crime.
So clearly this was coordinated, repeated, and meant to intimidate Nicki. And all of this happened during the same window when Nicki was publicly calling out Rock Nation and hinting at something bigger going on behind the scenes. So when Desiree's daughter says Desiree and Rock Nation are willing to destroy people who don't play along, and when Nicki starts getting swatted and people target her child, you have to ask, was this part of the playbook? Was this Rock Nation sending a message? Because none of it feels random anymore. And what you have to keep in mind is that Desiree Perez is a woman with a very shady past. And Nicki was targeted because she exposed what no one else dared to say out loud. That Rock Nation isn't just a record label, but a front for federal operations targeting rappers. And Desiree Perez, a former convicted criminal turned government informant, is at the center of this. According to an investigative account on X, Resist Programming, in 1994, Desiree was arrested for possession of 35 kilos of cocaine and conspiracy with intent to distribute illegal substances. The court records reviewed by the New York Daily News reveal that she was charged by federal authorities for being part of a criminal operation stretching from New York to Florida to Puerto Rico. But Desiree wasn't acting alone. Her husband, Juan O.G. Perez, was also involved, and Juan happens to be one of Jay-Z's closest friends. They go way back, and in the mid-90s, they started the 40/40 Club together. Jay would later appoint Juan as Rock Nation's sports president, and they're still close family friends to this day. Now, back...
Listen, y'all. All right. I don't even know how to start this statement. How can another party tell somebody else not to speak? If that wasn't the biggest red flag of that whole Tory situation, I don't know what to tell y'all. You got one person taking immunity. You got a company saying, hey, you better not speak. Why not? Is me speaking gonna shed light on what really happened? Is that the reason why Tory just sort of laid down and took it? Was he scared of what this company might do? To reach out to somebody and tell them that they better not speak? That's real mob shit. Anyway, let me know if you're still here. Say I made it. Let me know where you're tapping in from, and I'm out. Peace.